Hello, and welcome to IMTS Spark, the What's New and What Works in Mold Manufacturing series brought to you by Mold Making Technology. I'm Christina Fugis, Editorial Director with Mold Making Technology, and my co-host
Hi,
is...
I'm Ryan Delahanty, publisher of Mold Making Technology. Good to see you again, Christina.
You too, Ryan. All right. So again, for those not familiar with mold making technology, this media brand has been covering mold manufacturing since 1998 with a monthly print magazine as well as digital and social media content. And we can't forget a Mold Expo.
Mm-mm.
September 21st to the 23rd in Rosemont, Illinois. So I invite viewers to check out Mold Making Technology at moldmakingtechnology.com to learn more. Today's session is number 4 of 6 sessions presented by Mold Making Technology that will take place from now through March. So be sure to check out IMTS Spark for the full lineup and to get access to the live stream events. Ryan and we have been bringing on guests to talk about the mold making industry, its trends, and its challenges. Today's session is called Leading Today, and that is with Precise Tooling Solutions, who is Mold Making Technology's 2020 Lead Time Leader Award winner. We're going to find out what winning has meant to the shop, as well as the benefits since taking that title, especially in a year with a pandemic that presented not only new challenges, but new opportunities for mold builders, and even how we typically recognize our winners. But to kick this off right, I think it's important, Ryan, that you and I just give a little bit of background on this award, because I'm sure there's people that aren't familiar with this annual competition that we've been doing, believe it or not, since 2003. So
Yeah,
why
it's
don't
hard
you
to
give us a little background.
absolutely. It's hard to believe that we started this in 2003. We launched this program to share best practices and recognize North American mold manufacturers that excel in a few areas: customer satisfaction, workforce development, industry involvement, continued and continuing improvement, business growth, and technology employed.
So if you were to ask, what is a lead time leader? I'm sure people are
Mhm.
asking that. Well, what does that actually mean? So this is our definition, because in essence, everything boils down to lead time. Everything you do is about getting that to your customer, right? How quickly you can do that. So we define it as a company that performs beyond the status quo using any and all resources available to it, whether that means teamwork between skilled employees and a well-managed scheduling system, or having the latest machinery and equipment and automation, et cetera, or both. But the important thing to remember is that it's not just about being the shop with the shortest delivery times. It's about what you do with what you have. That's really
That's
important.
absolutely that's absolutely right. What you do with what you have. The benefits of participating include, gaining industry recognition and credibility amongst your peers, attracting new customers, boosting morale with your teams, distinguishing your shop as an industry leader, promoting your shop's capabilities and services, increasing awareness even of your brand. We talk a lot about brand building at Mold Making Technology, and so this is a way to build those brands. Many winners have also have also realized real business growth as a result of the
Yeah.
exposure to being a lead time leader. When it comes to selecting a winner, we use an anonymous panel of industry professionals to help assess the shops. We look at performance and lead time and deliveries, current and projected sales growth, investment in technology, innovation and business strategy, manufacturing efficiency, commitment to workforce training and development, industry involvement, and customer satisfaction. So you can see, Christina, it's just a
It's a
massive
lot.
amount of, it's a massive undertaking for someone
It
to
is.
to nominate themselves or be nominated, and it really helps them take a deep dive in their business. But
Exactly. So then we have to assume everybody wants to know, well, what do I win? Right? What does the winner get?
right.
So winners they are featured on the cover of Mold Making
Mhm.
Technology alongside a feature story and a video that we record at your shop. We present your team with an award during a presentation ceremony at a Mold, and the winner also gets a complimentary 10 by 10 booth at the show to showcase their team and their technology and services. So if any of this piques anybody out there listening, if it piques your interest, we are still accepting entries for the 2021 Lead Time Leader Award competition. So I encourage you to check out the Lead Time Leader Awards tab at moldmakingtechnology.com for more information. Plus, you can check out all of our past winning mold builders. So Ryan, before we say any more, we did a lot of work last year.
Yeah.
So I want to play some of the video coverage that we gave Precise Tooling to give the audience a taste of why they won, and then we'll come back and we will invite our guest into the discussion. So let's play the clip. Here today with Mold Making Technology's 2020 Lead Time Leader Award winner, Precise Tooling Solutions out of Columbus, Indiana. And I am speaking with the CEO and owner of Precise, Don DeMullen, and we're going to find out a little bit more about this winning shop. So Don, hello, first of all.
Good morning. How are you?
Good, very well. So let's get into it. So who is Precise Tooling Solutions?
Yeah, so we're a 33-year-old specialty manufacturer based in Columbus, Indiana. We've got 35 people and about 30,000 square foot of manufacturing space. We actually have 4 businesses that make up the company. We make new plastic injection molding tools. We do some die sets along with that. We have a productivity business that does repair and engineering changes. We then use our CNC equipment to do big CNC projects. And then lastly, we have an ergonomic workstation business that we purchased about 4 years ago. So we actually are a multifaceted specialty manufacturer.
Diversified.
Yes.
That's what you sound like to me.
Yes.
So what would you say is Precise's company philosophy, your vision, your mission statement?
Yeah, so the mission statement is really pretty simple, and it's one we adopted, almost 7 years ago when I bought the company, and it's that we'll build on a talented team, we'll use cutting edge technologies and superior efficiencies to deliver the highest quality products to delight our customers while continually increasing profitability.
So I know doing the feature story with you guys and talking to you over the past few months, you have this 3-pillar value proposition that kind of defines the company. Can you review that for us?
Sure. We stay focused on really 3 things: world-class craftsmanship, on-time delivery, and a fair price. And we do that with every project and with every customer day in and day out.
So, of course, this award is called Lead Time Leader. So let's talk about your lead times and what do you believe is the key to Precise's lead times, on-time delivery, and your customer referral rates?
Yeah, great question. We really have stayed very focused about meeting our customers' requirements, and I use the word customer delight. It's really about making sure that the customer is happy with us every single day. The 2 things that have really driven what customers, I think, appreciate most about us is we're always on time, north of 98% on time, which says out of 1,500 projects last year, we were late on 20. So, it's a pretty dang good track record.
You got that right.
Yeah, and then we use that ERP system and our quality to make sure that the craftsmanship that the customer gets is always perfect. We know exactly how much quality is affecting our financials each month, and so we're very laser focused on that throughout the organization. I think what that does is it gives our customer a much better product and one that they can be proud of and that they know they can come back for and get every day. We've kind of been through 3 phases of our growth of our company. The first was building the strong base of technology that we had, getting E2 and things like our quality system up to speed. And then our second phase was investing in equipment. And over the past kind of 4 years, we spent pretty close to $4 million in new equipment. Our first major purchase, we bought some smaller machines early on, but our first major purchase was a 5-axis boring mill that we can put 10-foot by 12-foot plates on. And big mold bases. The second piece was a 5-axis CNC equipment made by Rotors that has really changed our game from a manufacturing standpoint. and Josh knows the equipment much better than I do. But the reason we bought that piece of equipment was the vast majority of our customers are in the LED lighting space. And they came to us and said, you know, guys, we just simply can't have EDM and hand polishing in LED lighting applications anymore. We need you to have the equipment to cut to zero and then fit those inserts directly into molds so that they can produce parts. And we've been on a 2.5-year journey now to do that very thing, and have invested heavily in our equipment to make us the preferred supplier for LED lighting in the industry.
So what has been the result of this phased approach that you're taking? Because from gathering the information on the shop, you've changed the way you do things, even what you call it. Like it's the new face of mold making. So talk about that.
You know, what we've really tried to do is we realize, as every other tool manufacturer in the country, that the days of having 3 or 4 65-year-old tool makers that manage the process from start to finish is just not doable anymore. First of all, those guys are happily moving into retirement, and it's hard to get young guys trained to that. So we, like many other shops, have moved to a process where we're departmentalized, and departments take care of specific responsibilities. So this compartmentalization that we've done across the shop, I think, has not only paid dividends to the amount of time we have invested, because we've taken processes and given them to experts. So we've lowered the amount of time that we have in tools. But what we've also done is built expertise across the shop in very different areas that is, I think, helping our efficiency grow incrementally.
So you talk a lot about your ERP, which is E2 from ShopTech. Why is a cloud-based advanced ERP system essential to how Precise does business?
Well, we run our entire shop, everything from quotes to making orders from POs to our financial system to our scheduling system. Everything that we do inside our operation is inside of ShopTech E2. And we feel very good about it. In fact, we just moved to the cloud-based version of that. And we did that for a purpose to get things off of our server to allow us to have a better IT strategy. And then it prevents or provides, I should say, a lot of opportunities. You know, we eventually will turn on some technology that they have that allows guys to clock in once they get at their machine via their cell phones. And so it's things like that that will, you know, increase productivity. Interestingly, and one of the things that we've talked about is we don't have to go to a central area, a central computer in a world of social distancing to log into machines in the future. We'll do that via potentially mobile phones that are tied into the system. So we think there's a lot of opportunities there, not only in getting data to the right people at the right time so they can make decisions and get jobs going, but it's just a much better strategy for our overall IT to have everything in one location, and that being cloud-based.
All right, let's toss this over to Josh so we can get a little bit more into your 5-axis capabilities.
All right.
Okay, Josh, you are Precise's Director of Manufacturing, correct?
Correct.
And I understand that you've been there for quite a long time. So I would consider you one of the seasoned professionals at the shop.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've been here around 23 years now.
All right. And I hear you're very familiar with the technology. So let's get into this rotors, the 5-axis high-speed mill. Mm-hmm. Talk to me a little bit about the capabilities of that machine and why they are all important to Precise.
Well, the 5-axis allows us to minimize part setups and better surface finishes and tighter tolerances for the components that we're cutting. Polish time was impacted greatly when we bought that rotor, and it took our surface finishes to a whole nother level.
Talk a little bit about setups, because I know, let's walk through the setups, the accuracy of the machine, the fixturing options that this machine has allowed, its speed.
Yeah, so with systems like FCS, we can use those in conjunction with the rotor. We can run multiple part setups at a time. The 3-axis milling, you could do some multiple setups, multiple part setups, and then there was a lot of hands-on as far as setup was concerned, where the 5-axis kind of eliminates that.
Could you provide a specific, any specific jobs stand out to you where you really saw the difference that this machine brings to Precise's work?
Yeah, we had some cam drivers we were cutting that used to take quite a bit of time on our 3-axis mills. Multiple setups, we'd have to put blocks in vices, take them out, change our setups, set up different tooling and stuff like that. The 5-axis plus FCS, we put 4 or 5 blocks in at a time and cut them all at one time.
It's rare nowadays. I go into a shop that I don't see FCS being used. That seems to be a technology that's just exploded in the mold making sector. What future opportunities do you see with 5-axis machining?
The optical inserts, I mean, it seems like that technology grows daily. I mean, they get more complex every time we get a new one. And that rotor helps us stay ahead of that curve. Headlights on cars are just, it's like they picked that one area to make the most complex on the car. But the rotor helps us stay ahead of that curve.
Since being in mold making, I completely notice taillights and headlights and everything nowadays, knowing the technology that is behind that aspect of a car. It's pretty incredible. And it's quite the niche to be involved in. When you look at CAD CAM software, we talked about you have Autodesk PowerMill, PowerShape Fusion. I don't know if you want to talk about the Visi. You were on quite the journey with your CAD CAM software. Do you want to talk about that a little bit?
CAD CAM software is constantly changing too. The softwares we use help us fully utilize the machine to its potential. The example I've used is like, without the proper CAM software, you're basically putting a governor on your Ferrari. We got the best machine out there. We might as well have the best software to fully utilize that machine. And Visi is a whole another animal. We're starting down that path right now, and it's pretty exciting what we've seen so far.
So in terms of that, in terms of CAD CAM software, what is it about Visi, or the type of software that Visi is? What is it that's attracting you guys to take a look at that?
Well, the compass automation that it provides is kind of the direction we're going down. Most softwares allow you to, you could utilize like UG or Mastercam fully through your shop and have only one software. Visi seems to be the product so far that does it the best for what I've seen.
How has this suite of software helped you, realize all the capabilities to their fullest of the 5-axis machines?
So the way the CAD softwares create surfaces and the way the CAM softwares read the surfaces and communicate that to the machines were the reasons why we picked the softwares we did. And then looking at Visi, we have to consider all that during our move. It has to read it the same or better so that we can continue to utilize the machines the way we do.
So let's get your take on E2. For scheduling and data tracking. I know that was an area when you talk about this software, you focus on those aspects. So talk about that a little bit.
Well, I actually really love E2. It has, to me, it has changed the way we manage the company. Before E2, everything was so hands-on. There was Excel spreadsheets as far as scheduling, people asking every hour or two what it is that they're supposed to work on, where now you can manage from the seat of your, in your office from the computer. The guys on the floor, they work off of their work queues. They each have a computer. They can basically know what they're to work on for weeks at a time. It's all provided for them right there on their work queues.
So it's streamlined things.
It's streamlined, yeah, much so. Now there's a lot of background work that goes on.
What's the learning curve?
About all the time, but
what is the learning curve when you're implementing a ERP system like that?
I think we had about a 6-month learning curve where a lot of us lost hair and or our hair turned gray And it was quite a struggle at the time, and but we all fought through it, and we could see that the benefit would be there in the end, and it sure was. It's the backbone of our company now.
Hello, Brian.
Hello, how are you?
So the first thing I want you to do for me is define what tool productivity means, because I think most mold shops refer to it as just maintenance and repair, and I know it's a lot more than that. So can you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, well, tool productivity is really, it is repair and engineering changes. Of course, we get into reverse engineering, things like that, on top of just your basic repair and engineering change work.
Okay. Now, I know mold repair is big business for Precise. Can you tell me how much of the business is tool productivity work, and then talk about the type of molds that you work on and the services you provide?
Yeah, our productivity business is about 30% of our business. It is big business. It's quick turnaround business. We do a lot of different tools, both ends of the spectrum. We do, little small cable locks for several of our customers, small parts up to big headlight housings for the automotive world. And we also do repair and engineering changes on household products like tumbler cups for a current customer of ours. And so it's kind of across the board.
Okay, which is the diverse business model that Precise has, right?
Exactly.
Okay, that applies to your tool room.
Yeah.
So can you talk a little bit about the tool room? Describe the setup in terms of the equipment, the team in place, and any kind of strategic process you have to the work that flows through that area.
Yeah, on the repair and engineering change side, the productivity side, we've got a wonderful process in place. Really makes my job easy.
That's what it's all about.
What it's all about. We've got, the big blue and press. We have
Yes.
mill utensil. It's a 250-ton press. It's not like old school days where you have to blue in from a chain hoist, type of chain hoist, slows down somebody else. It just helps the steady flow of work through the shop. Of course, the machines that we have are, phenomenal. The rotors machines we have that, a lot of times my engineering change requires new inserts. So we can throw those into the rotors, maybe run lights out. Just a wonderful thing. But the process, back to makes my job easy, everything that I collect from the customer, what's needed, whether it be repair, engineering change, everything flows from me straight to design. So design will take, and we'll have like a kickoff meeting with the shop supervisor, production manager, the design team, and who's going to be working on the tool, all in one setting. And that way everybody's clear on what's happening, PowerPoints, information, everything's transferred at that point. And of course, there's going to be questions later because people forget. So there's groups might forget, say, let's meet again. And so we just want to make sure everybody's, the work flows really smooth through the shop and hits every area with everybody knowing what to do with the scope of work that's in front of them.
How does Hubspot, you talked a lot about Hubspot when we were doing the feature story.
Yeah.
How does that help with branding and new business and quoting and communication? It seems like a really awesome tool to have.
It is. HubSpot is a cloud-based software application that is used for what are called front office functions. Everything in the sales and marketing umbrella, if you will. And HubSpot serves as a single platform. Again, it's cloud-based, but it's a single platform that ties everything together. So it serves as both the common database for our contact data on individuals, both customers and prospective customers. We also have a company information in there, and we also maintain all of our quote history that we have. From that standpoint, it allows anybody in our team to go in and look at quote history by company or by company location or by contact at the company, so we can see what kind of work we've done in the past with them. It allows us to target market different parts of our contact database. Since, as you know, we have 4 different business units, new mold, the mold repair, the CNC, and the ErgoSmart. We have different types of customers in our database, and by segmenting those customers according to our different business units, we're able to do marketing campaigns and email campaigns and communication campaigns to specific subsets of our contact audience. As a broader package, we're using it for really everything in what we call our front office, which would be contact management, quote pipeline management. We're using HubSpot as our website host. We're using it for all of their inbound marketing services, including search engine optimization, blog posts, social media posts, our press management, and working with trade industry magazines. So it's an all-encompassing software system.
Yeah.
And what's nice about it is that because it's a single system, it's much more efficient, both from a time and from a cost standpoint.
It's incredible. I wish every shop had that. Seriously, it's a great organization tool to effectively market, right? There's a lot that goes into it that I think people don't think about once they start down that journey. And a tool like that can help make it a little easier, without oversimplifying it.
It does, and frankly, it's also a reflection of the times, especially now with this the virus situation the country's going through. Fact of the matter is that marketing has really changed and has moved into the digital world. Being able to have analytics to figure out, are you contacting the right people, and measure things like email campaigns.
Yep.
And
it's
at
all
the
about
same
data.
time, it's all about data, and it's all about making information available to your customers in multiple platforms. But the very nature of marketing has changed. Marketing historically has been very interruptive, where commercials and cold calls and information is being bombarded at people. And inbound marketing takes that concept and turns it on its head. And essentially, you're trying to provide interesting information to people and attract them to come to you to learn more about your capabilities as a company, so that when they're ready to buy, there's already a relationship and some knowledge there, and they come into that sales pipeline better informed about your products, services, and how you differentiate yourself. We think we've got a good strategy and are executing it, and it's the right one for us as a smaller company because we don't have a lot of resources to put after marketing.
Customer service is also key to Precise. And I believe you guys have a pretty unique approach to that too, in terms of how you gauge customer satisfaction. Talk about that a little bit.
We've been very consistent in our approach. We do a survey at least once a year. We use a third-party firm called SurveyMonkey to administer the survey. We try to make the survey something that is very simple to take and very easy to take. Again, a reflection of the times. People get bombarded with information now, and so we try to be very cognizant of that and make things that are simple and easy and quick, so it doesn't require big time commitment. Mechanically, what we do is survey all customers, like I said, at least once a year. So we look at all of the projects that we've done, and we'll typically do maybe 1,200 to 1,300 projects during the year. And we're going to mail a survey invitation to contacts for all of those projects, and it may be 2 or 3 contacts per company, per project. So we invite everybody to participate. It's 20 questions. It takes about probably 2 minutes for somebody to take the survey. In the customer survey, we have 20 questions. It takes about 2 minutes, but there are 4 or 5 questions that are central to each survey. And by asking those same questions year after year, we're able to get good longitudinal data that looks at current trends and emerging trends. That's been hugely important to us. And just by way of example, one of the questions we ask every year is we ask customers to tell us what are the top 3 criteria that you use when selecting a new supplier. And we give them a choice of probably 9 or 10 options from which to choose. And if you look at the survey results, say from 2014, 6 years ago, lead time was not one of the top 3 criteria. But if you look at surveys in 2018, 2019, and again in 2020, lead time was either number one or tied as number one for the top criterion customers look at when selecting new service providers. And so we've been able to see how the importance on lead time has become a bigger issue over the last few years. And part of what we do is, and we've talked to you folks about this as well as a business practice, we publish our on-time delivery results, making sure that we're demonstrating our commitment to on-time delivery. We post that on our website and update it once a month.
Our 2020 Lead Time Leader winner is Precise Tooling Solutions of Columbus, Indiana. So accepting the award is the owner and CEO, Don DeMullen.
Christina, thank you. It's so exciting. Look at that. That is just wonderful. So on behalf of myself and all my colleagues, we are truly honored and delighted to win the 2020 Lead Time Leader Award. This is the largest award in our industry, and we're very proud to be the 2020 winner in a very, very difficult year. I think we would all agree. But I just wanted to say a couple of thank yous to start with. First of all, to Mold Making Technology Magazine and the entire Gardner team. You guys have been awesome to work with. It's just really been a delight. To Progressive Components, Don and Glenn Starkey, you guys have a company and a culture that I deeply admire. So the fact that you're sponsoring this award means a lot to me personally. To the selection committee, we wholeheartedly agree with your selection, and we appreciate the fact that you cast your vote for us. We'll be forever in your gratitude. To the 2019 winner, Excel Mold and Die. You guys showed us what a good application looked like, and we were able to use some of our experience and capitalize on yours. Looks like you had a wonderful year being the award winner, so we really appreciate the guidance that we've gotten from you. And most importantly, to our customers, we have just a wonderful customer base, and we couldn't do it without them. And then finally, to my entire team. 7 years ago, I bought this company, and while I got to look at the machines and I got to look at the building, I never got to look at the people. And that's what makes this company so different, is our people. From our very experienced guys that lead the shop to our younger guys that are learning from them, we just have a wonderful organization through and through. And because of that, I'll always be lucky and to have this as a company.
Wow. That seems like it was just yesterday, quite honestly. I can't believe it's been almost 9 months now. And watching that video, I have to say, it reminds me how different it was this year, but it was no less fun and no less meaningful, but it was different. So let's welcome Precise Tooling Solutions fearless leader, Don DeMullen, who is the CEO and owner. Welcome, Don.
Hi, Christina. Hi, Ryan. How are you?
Doing great,
Good.
Don. Doing great. Good to see you again.
Yeah.
Yeah, what a year. That's the best way to say about 2020. What a year.
Let's not redo it. Please.
I agree. So let's get in a little bit here, Don. We want to learn, Christina and I know a little bit about you, but we want to make sure the audience gets to know you a little bit. So I understand Don is a bit, I'm telling you, Christina, Don knows this. He's a bit unique as a mold builder, right?
Okay.
So he's a bit unique as a mold shop owner. He's a seasoned executive from the consumer goods and medical device industry, and his skill set is in corporate finance and leadership and strategy. And of course, he's passionate about organizational innovation and continuous improvement. He entered mold making technology or the mold making marketplace when he purchased Precise Mold in 2013. So Don made mention of that in the video. After a short-lived retirement, I'd love to know how short-lived that was, Don. He has said he was looking for an opportunity where he did not need to manage day-to-day tasks. He'd leave that to his experienced craftspeople and focus on growing the business. At that point, Precise Mold did not have a growth platform, a strategic plan, or leaders with the right responsibilities. So you could see where the match was made there with Don's skill set and what Precise was looking for. So throughout the next 7 years, Don used a strategic approach to make significant technology investments, acquired an ergonomic equipment business, and rebranded the company in 2017 to Precise Tooling Solutions.
Yeah,
Christina?
that's about it in a nutshell, right, Don? I don't think Ryan missed anything in terms of who you are,
he's a
right?
good PR guy. I should stick around.
I'm a hype man.
Yeah,
Exactly.
That's right.
So, what I want to start off with is this quote. We have you quoted, and I love how you said this because, of course, it says wonderful things about the award. You said, "It is a huge thrill for Precise Tooling to win what I consider to be the most coveted award in the industry. It's not far from winning a gold medal at the Olympics." I love that. And believe me, it's not just you. Other winners have had that same kind of sentiment to what this award means to the community. So I need you to share just a little bit with us and to everyone out there what winning this title meant to you personally and also to your team and why.
Yeah, no, that's a great question, and I 100% stand behind the quote that I gave almost a year ago. And we're truly blessed that you guys and your selection committee chose Precise Tooling Solutions as the 2020 winner. Now, would I have preferred that you chose us in, I don't know, 1819 when there was a convention and all those kinds of things? Maybe so, but
Right.
we'll take it when we can get it. I think that human beings like to be recognized, right?
Right.
Recognition is one of the things we do around my shop. People want to know that others value them as individuals and as companies, and to earn a national award is just a real thrill. And I think it puts a check mark by the box that says that, we're just not a fly by night company. We're something substantial enough that people wanted to, and you folks wanted to give us an award. And that's just tremendously powerful. It's powerful for me as an individual and as a business owner. It's powerful for my people who, as I tell them, you guys stand differently than other people in this industry. And it's your hard work that got us here, not something that we did, and not the fact that we wrote, a compelling application, but that we live what we do on a day-to-day basis.
I love it. I love it. So I can understand the impact of this award, the win, like when you have the cover story, when when everything's new. So now we fast forward almost 9 months. Talk a little bit about what has the impact been as you've moved through this year, because marketing is key to you guys. So, and we try even in Mold-Making Technology. We've had different Q&A columns in the magazine, so we try to keep that going. But talk about that, the impact since you won.
Yeah, I think, this has been a non-traditional year, right? So one of the reasons that we applied for the award back when we did almost 18 months ago was because every other winner said, wow, it did great things for our business, right? So there was a bit of self-servingness there. Unfortunately, I can't say that it's done great things for our business because we were in a COVID world, right? So,
Right.
we've been fighting for every piece of business that we've had over the last 18 months, or I guess really 12 months. But I will tell you that our acquisition of new customers is up since the award. And I think that's because we do a pretty fair job at marketing, but the central part of our marketing has been that we are a national award winner, right? So I think if somebody wasn't going to open an email or wasn't going to give us a consideration factor, all of a sudden we get that because of the gold star that you pinned on our chest, right? So I can't tell you that my business is up 40% over a year ago. I would love to tell you that. It's not going to happen in a COVID world, right? But what I will tell you is that it certainly has driven our acquisition of new customers, which we think will drive our business for the next 5 years.
That's great. Have you done anything, or can you share any marketing tips for the next winner, how to appropriately use that in a marketing world?
Well, if I were you all the other tool shops, I would claim you were second best to Precise. I think that's a great marketing. I doubt anybody will take that advice. But I do think that it ought to be front and center to everything that you do, because I think that the credibility that Mold-Making Technology brings to the award, it's your award, but the credibility you bring to it is a huge, boost to anybody that's going to be looking at any kind of data from competing shops, right?
True.
Yeah, good point. And I don't know, maybe the second best to precise matters to someone out there, Don. You never know, right?
Maybe.
I mean,
You
it's
never
marketing.
know.
It's
You never
marketing.
know. We'll be happy to help you with the copy if
That's
somebody
right.
wants to
That's
do
right.
There you go.
Absolutely. Yeah, just throw me a logo and we'll get it
That's-
figured out, right?
That's right. Right.
Good. So in the recap of the video that we showed during Amerimil Connects, you clearly got a chance to kind of talk about your diversified business model, the specialized work you work in, of course, your talent. I can tell that really means to you the people in the shop, of course, the machines, the use of technology, the cloud-based systems. Of course, the customer service and even the marketing. I mean, you talk about HubSpot and their use of that. I mean, that's stuff we talk about as a media channel and a
Right.
media business all the time. So it's pretty impressive when you think about what you guys are doing in your operation. Can you talk a little bit about from June 2020, like any changes in terms of technology or workforce, or just not necessarily like business being up or down, but like business strategy that you're going after?
Right. No, it's a great question. And, I think everybody in this industry has, and probably all industries, as we've, processed what went on and the massive shutdown we had across the country and how we needed to retool everything. We've done the same thing. Right. So we were fortunate that we kept the company open all but 1 week back in October when we had to shut down, when COVID went through the facility, and we had about a third of our people get it, and like boom. So we shut down, let it clear out, and we've been back. So, we've been really fortunate that we've kept everybody employed and focused, and have been, relatively busy in that period of time. We have taken a hard look at every one of our operations through and through, because and been selective. We've had a couple people that have decided to go do something different or relocate it, and when they did that, we took a hard look at whether we needed to rehire for that job, or could we do something different. We added a really important technology back in the fourth quarter, where we added machine monitoring to all of our machines, using a company that I just feel really strongly about. It's called Amper, AMPER.
Okay.
And if you haven't met Christina, if you haven't met the CEO there, I'd be happy to do an introduction.
Yes.
They're really, really great. We've been wanting to do machine monitoring for, probably 5 or 6 years, but I could never make the economics work on it. They've got a very different approach to the way they install in your facility, and then how they bill. It's really a SaaS model, software as a service model, instead of everybody else that wants to sell you capital. And so they've done a great job, and it's really helping us truly understand how a machine spindle time is, and then what the error codes are, or what the reason codes that our machines aren't running. Is it, hey, I don't have a job, or I don't have an operator, or I don't have the right cutting tools, or the design's wrong, and all those help us drive continuous improvement that makes us more efficient. We've maintained our profitability in this period of time, really because we're focused on those little things that help us become that much better and stronger long term.
Yeah, that's great. Thanks, Don. We'll definitely look into Amper. That sounds very interesting.
Yeah, they're
always
really,
like
and they're
leads.
great people. Really
Right.
great people.
So I have to ask about COVID related. How are those, the two product lines that you guys launched, right? Viral Sign and Viral Barrier, correct?
Yep.
So how are they?
Well, the Viral Sign is a separate company that I actually sit on the board of.
Okay.
Viral Sign's doing great. It's an early screening device for COVID. We've got, 80 or 90 installations across the country right now, including some Major League Soccer teams, and some hospitals and some things like that. So it's doing great. I think that was a big reason why our team stayed safe, is because we were scanning people. It's a facial recognition scanning device that shows the advent of any viral infection up to 5 days before you actually break out with it. So it's been doing great. And Barry Hicks is the CEO of the company. I sit on the board, and they're doing really, really, really nice things. The Viral Barrier that we launched was okay. We sold a couple dozen of them. I think what happened is school systems got really excited about them. And then what happened? They shut all the school systems
Shut
Yep.
down. Yeah.
So, we are continuing to market it. It's a relatively simple idea. And, now that schools are reopening and they've got literally hundreds of billions of dollars of our taxpayer money to help them reopen, I think we may see some orders. And if so, we'll fill them with the customers.
Yeah, very good.
Very interesting. Yeah, it's almost like you were too early on the school reopening piece, Don.
We might have been.
You might want to start now and get that HubSpot rolling now. You guys might have an opportunity there. So Christina and I talk about this all the time. We write about it all the time in our across our media brand, either on our website or through the pages of the magazine. It's the next generation, workforce development and things of that nature. And so, of course, we have to ask you a little bit about kind of the challenges with next generation and kind of getting your shop and your operation through those generational changes that are coming. So So when you think about the biggest challenge that's facing maybe mold manufacturing or manufacturing in general, I know that's kind of a big swath, but maybe focus on the mold making market. When it comes to education and then training the next generation, what does that look like within Precise, and how are you guys involved in that?
Well, it's a great question, and I think if you put 100 mold making owners in a room, they'd probably all say that finding the right people is their biggest challenge. Mm-hmm. I'm a little different in that we are very lucky in that we don't have a challenge in getting new people. Quick story: we lost 2 people about a month ago. And we had new people in their jobs that are quite honestly better than the person that left within about 2 weeks. And it's probably a blessing from above that we get good people. But there's clearly an underlying problem here that manufacturing was considered to be a smoke-filled, dirty kind of environment. And today's manufacturing is clean and air conditioned using the latest equipment. So I think we've got a bit of a bad rap. Kids were not encouraged to go into manufacturing. They're encouraged to go to college. And college, I sit on the board at Ball State, and I'm a big college supporter. But the simple fact of the matter is, college is not right for everybody, right? So we as manufacturers have a lot of selling to do, if you will, for the next generation. I think the thing that really helps, especially young guys that are getting into the trade, is they find out that running a CNC machine is a lot like playing a video game, right? And they like that. That's what they've been doing for the last couple dozen years of their life, or a dozen years of their life. And so as we position more about that and they see that opportunity, I think we've got a great story to tell as manufacturing in America, and as manufacturers, the safety record and the cleanliness record and the environment that they get to work in and the decisions they get to make on a day-to-day basis, I think makes for a really good career. And by the way, it pays pretty well too.
Right. That's interesting that you're talking about the opportunity that is for young professionals to come in, and maybe people that didn't look at manufacturing for like maybe a generation that didn't look at manufacturing because maybe their parents or grandparents were in manufacturing. Like you said, it was dirty and dangerous and dark, and so we've got a lot of work to do here. But you said a little bit about engagement on the front end. So how do you address like keeping that group of people engaged, and how do they grow within your organization? Maybe share a little bit with our audience about what that looks like.
I think that's about making sure that people's roles and responsibilities are really clear, and that they can see that others had a bit of a ladder to climb, and as they got more experience, they got broader authority, and as they got more authority, they could make more decisions. And as they do that, they get that reinforcement, that positive reinforcement that everybody wants. So, we've been really lucky with a number of young guys that have really come in and dedicated themselves and hit it hard and learned a lot from the older guys. And I think they like their career choices, right? I've got a CNC department that the average age is, 27 or 28.
Wow.
Nice.
And to me, that says a lot about, how younger guys are coming in. We've hired high schoolers overall our history as a company. Josh Jeffries, who's our head of manufacturing, started off as a high schooler here, right? So 23 4 years ago or something like that. So, we've got a history of doing it. We work with our folks and get them a broad experience across the shop. One of our young guys who was featured in one of the segments when we won the award, or actually both of the guys that were featured in that segment, are doing fabulous in the job. And as we get them broader experience across the shop, they're going to become excellent machinists. We continue to increase their pay and make them competitive, and they work in a great environment. So I think all those are the secrets. Are the young kids today want to work 65 hours a week? No, I don't think they do. They've got outside lives and like we all do.
Sure.
So, they tend to be a little bit different than some of our more senior colleagues. But at the same time, they when they hit the ground running, they are running hard and fast.
Yeah. Yeah.
So how do you feel about mentoring? And as Ryan can know, Mold Making did a project on mentoring ourselves.
Okay.
So how does that play out? Because you do have a nice mix of next gen and seasoned professionals, I like to call them. So how does that work? And I know don't you do some mentoring yourself?
I do. I spend a lot of time with our team. I'm not having spent a lot of years in big companies. Mentoring is one of those HR programs that's kind of thrown, to the masses, and you got to find a mentor. You got to be mentored. Right. And so I'm a little jaded about that because while I love my time in big companies, I really like my time in small companies. And I think what you find in small organizations like mine, 30 people, you get to a point where everybody's mentoring everybody, right? So there's no formal program. There's no informal program. It's that we're a big team, and for the team to be successful, the younger guys have to learn from the older guys, right? And the only way that's going to happen is, and I tell the younger guys this, ask questions, right?
Yep.
You've got to be inquisitive in your career in order to be successful. The minute you think you know everything, you're going to fail because you don't know everything. So the more time you spend saying, I bet he knows, or I bet, I can find the answer over there, and you walk over and ask him, I'm big on the fact that my facility is 20,000 square foot. I tell people we live in a 200 by 200 box, folks. Walk over and talk to somebody.
Yeah.
And too many times, people are locked in and think they've got to stay focused on their job, and they don't. They need to walk out and mingle with people. And we did a lunch today and brought pizzas in so people could just sit around and talk, right?
Yeah.
And they all learned something during that period of time.
Christina, the fact, Don, that you said that everyone mentors everybody. And I think, there's like the business, like, how to run a machine and all of that you want to kind of like that tribal knowledge, if you will, to work itself through the organization. But there is absolute skill sets and knowledge that your less seasoned workers can help the more seasoned workers with as well. Might not necessarily be what it makes on a machine. It might be how to do another skill within a company or communication with people or whatnot. And I love that you said everyone mentors everybody. I'm going to steal that from you.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to let you know that right now.
That's fine.
That makes for a really good working environment, because I also like what you said about if the seasoned or the young, asking questions is a way to show respect too. It shows that you're going to someone for help because you think they can help you. So you're holding that person up. And I think that can make a seasoned generation look at the younger person differently too. There's not that, they're not fighting against each other. So I commend you for that. And I agree. We have in September, our June issue is our 30 under 30. We're doing this 30 under 30 honors program.
Oh, yeah.
We didn't have problems getting people nominating people under 30. So every time we do that, it kind of exhilarates me because people talk about it happening. So to see the names coming in, it is happening. So that's refreshing.
That's great. That's really good. Yep.
So my last question for you, I've been asking everybody this, is looking down long-term, long-term, the industry is changing, right? Mold manufacturing. So who do you, Don, how would you define that mold builder of the future in terms of the skill sets they're going to have, what we're going to call them, their characteristics? What is your opinion on that?
Well, I think as you and I talked at the award time, we have gotten away from the concept that there was a lead man that did everything, right? And I thought, and we kind of blew up that model 3 or 4 years ago because the lead men were getting older and retiring, right? So we were going to be left without a business. And I really think that what you find and what the future looks like are experts in different segments that when they do their work so well, it comes together as a tool. And, you're going to have your most experienced guy, bluing in the tool and getting it ready for the first shot and then to go into production. And they're going to be your senior guys that have seen most. But, the guy that's running the EDM machine at the back of the shop, in our case, or the guy that's running the CNC in the front of the shop is just as important as that lead guy, because if they don't do their work right, that lead guy can't make sure that the final assembly. So, but that lead guy in our world no longer is worrying about EDM or worrying about the CNC. They trust those teams to do their great work. And I think that in many ways changes the whole structure of the business long term.
I like that.
That's great. So Don, I've got one last question as well. So any advice to colleagues of yourselves, other mold builders out there about the Lead Time Leader Award? Anything you'd want to say to them that are listening today?
Well, if anybody is listening, because this has been a long interview and you're probably asleep by now, but I would tell you 100% get the application in. Make friends with Christina, make friends with Ryan. They're great people. The organization behind them, the Gardner Media team, is a class act. They'll do everything they can within their power to help you build your business. Unfortunately, they don't have any orders or can't cut any POs for you. But they will do everything they can to help you grow your business. It has been a wonderful pleasure to work with both of you and your entire team.
Same to you.
And we will always be honored by the award that we had.
It's awesome.
Great.
Ryan,
Thanks,
we do
Don.
have some time. You have to ask what you want to
do.
ask.
I want to build off that because maybe, Don, that the next year's winner could be honored on the floor of Congress, like your company was with your House of Representative, your congressman. Maybe spend the last couple of minutes here telling us a little bit about that experience with Representative Pence.
Yeah, thanks for bringing that up. Greg Pence, who's the brother of the just out Vice President, is our local congressman, and Congressman Pence has been incredibly helpful for our business. When we were facing China, the tariff issue in China, we met with him as the AMBA board and with some help from outsiders, and he helped us get the tariff implemented across the country, which has been a big help to our industry. Mm-hmm. And when we won the award, I reached out to Congressman Pence in his office and just said, "Hey, thanks. Your hard work helped us win this award." And I got a call back like the next day and said, "Hey, would it be okay if we mention this on the floor of Congress?" I'm like, "Yeah, right, sure." And 3 days later, I get a phone call and said, "You better turn into C-SPAN right now." And I pulled up the thing, and here is Congressman Pence saying, "And my friend Don DeMolin in Precise Tooling Solutions." I literally about fell down, but
that's great.
And the congressman does that a lot, and it's just part of, I think, what he does for Central Indiana, which is incredible. And he's very supportive of everything that our company does and everything that all manufacturing and service industry in Central Indiana does. So he's been a great congressman.
That's great. Thanks for sharing that story too, Don.
Yeah,
that's great. So again, thank you, Don. Anybody interested in learning more about our Lead Time Leader program, again, there's still time to enter the 2021 competition. We're still taking entries, so check out past winners, check out how to enter at moldmakingtechnology.com, the Lead Time Leader tab at the top of the page. And here's to presenting our 2021 winner at AmeriMold in person, September 22nd in Rosemont, Illinois. So thank you, Don, and to everybody watching out there. Thank you for your time and participation. And don't forget to check out IMTS Spark for upcoming sessions in our What's New and What Works in Mold Manufacturing series. And remember, for everything mold making, visit moldmakingtechnology.com. Thank you, Ryan, and have a great day.
Thanks, Christina. Great to see you again.